Thank you. Greetings to the panel of judges. Uh, my name is Takaro Shabalala, and I am the team leader for Team 3. Team 3 is made up of 4 young and emerging evaluators from different countries in the continent of Africa. One of them is myself from South Africa. One of them is Zogie, also known as Peter, from Nigeria. Another one is Frederick from Ghana. We also have Victoria from Zimbabwe. So these are the young and emerging evaluators who have been allocated a topic of data mining or visualization that uses existing data, and it's also retrospective. We decided to name ourselves PACESETTERs. So we will be using Play Africa data that they already have in their programs. So we thought, let's just first give you a brief background about Play Africa. Play Africa is a South African non-profit company, which is also a social enterprise that is dedicated to creating child-centered spaces that spark creativity and learning through hands-on experiential activities. They serve children from birth to the age of 10, their families and schools, igniting curiosity through groundbreaking programs in early childhood development and foundation phase education. So their aim is to offer every child an education experience worthy of their potential, and to nourish a sense of belonging, and to engage and inspire all visitors to dream about the possibilities inside themselves, their families, and their communities. They also seek to pioneer inclusive public learning spaces in South Africa, to create engaged citizens and healthy communities by inviting all visitors to discover new worlds, to wonder and to ask questions, and to imagine a better future through interactive hands-on exhibits, programming, and play. These are the programs that we will be focusing on in our data mining. We'll be using the 7 programs that Play Africa already have, and in each of the program we will go deep into their data and try to find meaningful attributes or characteristics that all this program data that is already existing has, and also just to visualize what the data says from all these programs. So when it comes to our approach, we are intending to use utilization focused evaluation approach. And with this approach, firstly, we will identify clearly who are the intended users of the evaluation. And after identifying the intended users of the evaluation, we will then engage them personally from the beginning of the evaluation process to ensure that we find their primary intended uses of the evaluation, just to make sure that we are on the same page with them throughout the evaluation process. After identifying the primary intended users and their uses of the evaluation, we will then ensure that their intended uses of the evaluation guides us in terms of making decisions about the evaluation process. Um, because we are doing a data mining exercise that is using existing data and is retrospective, we are intending to adopt a data mining algorithm by Maimon and Rokash. And we are convinced that this data mining algorithm is the most probably comprehensive. Depending on what the primary internet users of the evaluation want to achieve from their data or want to see from their data, we will follow these data mining paradigms. Uh, these data mining paradigms can enable us to do a verification or a discovery in the data that is already existing. If the purpose of the data mining evaluation is to discover, then discovery has two algorithms. It could be a prediction or a description. Now, in terms of prediction, we also have another two algorithms, which could be a classification or a regression. And then with regard to classification, we also have processes or algorithms that can be followed. We can do a neutral networks, we can do a Bayesian network, we can do a decision tree model, we can do a support vector machines, we can do an instance based. So when we engage with the primary internet users of the evaluation, we are going to engage them based on this data mining algorithm by Maimon and Rocket. So we also have an approach for data visualization. And our data visualization approach relies on three criteria. It is a process that, number one, is based on qualitative or quantitative data, and number two, results in an image that is representative of the raw data, and number three is readable by the viewers and supports exploration, examination, and communication of the data. We adopted this criteria from Coursera 2007. So with regard to our first criteria, we purposefully keep it broad because both quantitative and qualitative data can take on many attributes or characteristics. So the characteristics for quantitative data can include Likert scales, geographical coordinates, quantified coding, various demographic characteristics, and a host of numerically based values that represent some sort of information. And qualitative data is also kept broad, um, and it can take form of transcribed interviews, recorded conversations among stakeholders, pictures, videos, or drawings that capture events, processes, and outcomes. Now, each of these data types requires a unique approach and methods of visualization to optimize the knowledge that they all contain. So our second criteria is about to remind ourselves to examine the data carefully and to ensure that the breadth and the scope of the visualization does not omit important information or does not overrepresent certain data, and that visualization accurately reflects the information contained in the data. We kept this understanding in our mind through the development of the approach, just to help prioritize elements of visualization design so that its message reflects what is in the data. The final criteria is about readability and examination and communication as the test of a successful visualization. So all these three criteria requires us to consider audience, which is our primary intended users of the evaluation, and to use our understanding to craft visualizations that is engaging and, more importantly, enlightening. Thank you so much for listening.